So coming up next is track number 8. It's called Abductors. Let's check it out. Alien, perhaps.
Abductors, they come at night.
Real heavy.
They come at night and they infiltrate you. They paralyze and they mentally rape you. Expressionless, they disintegrate you. They rob your soul and then desecrate you. We'll bleed your mind. They come for you in the night.
This one almost feels like the heaviest track yet with the I actually really like Tim Owens' vocals on this one. Like I said, he's very hit and miss for me on this album. Sometimes it works what he does and sometimes it doesn't. This time, everything seems to work for me. The way he comes in with the verse and then goes high, and it just sounds so damn cool. Very mid-tempo heaviness right now. I'm not too sure what I think about the song as a whole yet, but we'll see.
They strap you in, so much laid before you. And powerless, we can so explore you. You scream in pain, but they just ignore you. They bring machines and they drown for you. Watching inside. Drinking your mind. One believes that you were chosen from you, defiled and abused by the
Alright, I think we're going to get into a solo there, but I just have to mention that section we just went through. Like I said, this is a really heavy track, and I never expected them to throw in some acoustics in there. And the bass sounded really cool in that section as well. The guitars were cool. Tim Owens' voice. Now, his vocals, he kind of had layering on his vocals. One higher and one lower, going kind of harmonizing together. But they didn't quite harmonize that well compared to some other stuff I heard, say with Rob when he did that, like multi-layered his voice. But aside from that, pretty cool change up there. I'm pretty sure we're about to get a crazy solo. I hope.
You wake and rise there in your room. You better hope your memory fails you. Wallow above
just want to say this is like the third or fourth song on this album that goes really heavy and then cuts back to this more clean picking style that always sounds kind of eerie. Sometimes the tracks open up like that and go heavy. Sometimes they go heavy and then have sections like this. It's kind of interesting. We're kind of seeing it repeat throughout a couple different songs now. We did have a crazy solo, but it wasn't where I thought it was. It was a little later than when I paused it earlier. But again, there's something about the sound mixing on those solos that doesn't sound as good as the rest of the song every time. It always sound dirty or muffled or, like distorted, or like there's static over them sometimes, or sometimes they're just drowned in the mix. It's unfortunate because they sound really cool, but there's something about them that just doesn't quite work, and that's on every track on this album so far, which is unfortunate because they're playing their asses off, that's for sure.
Will bleed your mind, abductors, cutting inside. They cover you in the
Okay, so if you ever happen to be abducted by these guys, no one's ever going to believe you. They'll try to incriminate you or whatever if you try to rat them out, and they will mess with you. They're trying to bleed you dry, experiment on you. Interesting lyrics to this one, I'll give them that. A very headbang inducing verse, that very easy to headbang to. And yeah, a pretty decent track among the rest. They're all between good and great. I don't think any of them are really at top tier, but none of them are garbage either. So it's interesting. And like I said, Tim Owens is very hit and miss for me when it comes to his vocal delivery. It really worked for me in most of this track, aside from that small little acoustic part where I found his voice didn't harmonize well. I'm pretty sure it was with himself. Maybe it was with another band member. Who knows? But an interesting enough track. Up next is track number 9, Bullet Train. The movie was okay, that newer Brad Pitt movie, but I never heard the song before, so let's check it out. I wonder if it's going to be fast. really digging the guitars in this one. They feel a little bit more fleshed out, a little less basic. Not progressive or anything, but it's just a little bit more there. The rhythm in the background, and then the drums start following it, and so damn good. And yeah, I'm really just digging this track so far. This sounds badass. It's cool. It's heavy. It's everything I wanted. It's not exactly full throttle speed like I thought it might be with a song called Bullet Train, but it's still getting me there. Those friggin' harmonic pitches and just the way they slow down the track here, it sounds so damn cool, man. That rhythm. Hell yeah. Now that is a top track for me. Probably the most fun track on the record. This feels underrated to me. Bullet Train. It just felt more. It just gave me more than the rest of these tracks, especially in regards to the guitars. The riffs were so damn cool with the harmonic pitches to the rhythm section, like the triplets or the galloping, whatever you want to call it, was this also damn good. And even the solos weren't as drowned out this time. They were a little bit more easy to hear. Everything about this cool chorus. Tim Ripper Owens was great on this track. Everything was good. I mean, this was one of the best on the album for me. I was a big fan of Jugulator, Dead Meat, Abductors, but this one I think stands above the rest. It's up there with Burn in Hell for me, possibly even better. This is what I was waiting for. The second last track on the album. It just worked. It was just badass and cool. Had multiple different sections, but it all flowed nicely. Perfect transitions and everything. It was just top notch to me. Definitely a standout track on the album for me personally. And we only have one left. Track number 10, Cathedral Spires, and it's the longest track on the album, so we're gonna jump right in. Again. I just want to say this is like the fifth song out of 10 songs on this album that starts off with picking like this, like before we get into a heavier section, which I imagine is going to happen. Maybe not, might be a slower track, but it's kind of interesting that they're doing this, kind of repeating their formula a few times on this album. While he's not bad at doing the screams in that, I feel like he's much closer to pulling off a Rob Halford voice when he does this more slower sounding, more softer vocals. He's still not quite there, but I feel like he's closer to that sound. I'm sure he came from like a Judas Priest cover band, so I'm sure he was trying to emulate that sound anyway. He gets it right sometimes, but sometimes he's not quite there. But it's impressive nonetheless to even get that close, you know?
Time to rise up and ascend. The end has come.
Okay, this song is taken on many different shapes and sizes and twists and turns. I mean, it's almost 10 minutes long, so it was bound to have some change ups. But yeah, started off very smooth, the picking and everything, beautiful vocals. And then when we hit the heavy parts, it was like slow, heavy, but groovy again. A lot of slides that I don't know if it's exactly like that, but that riff is so like groovy and just gets you right into the mood to rock out. Reminds me a bit of School by Nirvana. That or not School. What's the song? Negative Creep. Yeah, that song. It kind of gives me that vibe just a little bit in that one riff. But yeah, pretty decent track so far. Interesting, like group vocals. I think it was in the chorus where they like go lower group vocals. Usually they're higher. Just different things like that. It's catching my ears. But yeah, great guitar work, that's for sure. It's keeping me grooving. All right, that we got those group vocals again that were low. They go Cathedral Spires. Another thing is, while Judas Priest, they're a metal band and that, they didn't always sing about hell and all this stuff. But this album seems to be going more that satanic route. Not that it's a bad thing or anything. I just wanted to put that out there. It seems like they're talking more about doomsday and hell and everything. This one seems to be about them watching from up above. Earth expire, doomsday is upon us, and there's nothing that can stop it. That's what it seems to be lyrically, anyway.
Jaws of corruption swallow assassin blood, consuming every nation, evil resistance getting none. Complete disintegration, no God to defend. There can be but one outcome. We are no more the
Funny, that chorus, I'm going to bring it back a little bit, but that chorus has some power metal vibes to it, ironically, for an album being this heavy and not really going into that genre all that much, power metal. This section kind of does. It just reminds me of that anyway.
Cathedral
vocals really go with it, right? With the whole religious aspect of the song. Them talking about Cathedral Spires. Oh, it's almost like gospel a little bit. Interesting. I think that's it. That's Doomsday. The world's over. Cathedral Spires. Interesting track. Longest track on the album. I like the way the last outro riff that we got, like I said, with those more religious, inspiring vocals, like almost gospel like or whatever. It's very catchy, very easy to headbang to. Cool riff. And I like the bass in that riff as well. It's a very interesting song. Tim did a great job vocally on this song. Like I said, he's hit and miss on all these songs, but this is one of the ones where it worked for me. Just the change ups in the song were interesting, but they always kept coming back to that cool, groovy, heavy riff, that bam, ba, ba, bam, ba, ba, bam. You know, that really gets you head banging. And a decent album overall. Not their best, that's for sure. And I understand the hate the album got when it came out, because this does not sound like Judas Priest. I mean, vocally it does a bit, but if you put in a different vocalist in here, you wouldn't even think about Judas Priest. Hard to believe it's still KK and Glenn on the guitars and Ian Hill on bass, because it doesn't sound like them at all. Turbo sounded different from things they did in the past, but it still had that Judas Priest feel. It just sounded like Judas Priest doing a glam or a hair metal album, where this, it sounds like a completely different band because of how heavy it is, and the tones and the riffs are just different. They're, like I said, they're more basic but heavy, but still very easy to headbang to, and I really did enjoy it. It's just not going to be at the top of my ranking, that's for sure. It's going to be interesting, though, re-listening to this album in the future, trying to figure out where I place it. That's always the fun part about going through these albums. And I love doing reactions to them, too, because you guys get to experience what I experienced for the first time all over again. So there you have it. That was Jugulator from 1997. I will return with their next album next, guys. You don't want to miss it. Make sure you like, subscribe to the video, subscribe to the channel, I should say. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.